What's up guys, Robert Optimal Bodies. Now if you follow my previous videos, you've seen my YouTube channel, etc, things I post on Facebook, then you might realise that I like to talk about controversial topics, okay? There's a lot of things you can talk about with the nutrition, fitness, health industry, sport, etc, but it's not as exciting as things that go against the gradient, against the grain. So I like to talk about things that like common myths, things like saturated fat being good for you, fibre being bad for you, fat being good for you, essential carbohydrates in the diet, things along those lines, statins being bad for you, etc, etc, cholesterol's good for you. So a lot of things, as you can see, are quite the opposite, and we need to be educated at this, because you need to just take a step back and think, right, is this guy going crazy? Is he just trying to, I do these videos for free, I don't get paid, you know, I don't have a sponsor, I'm not trying to make money, so I've got no agenda to do it other than to try and educate people. And I get a lot of stick off people, mostly like people like vegans and people that and it's not always their fault. Maybe it's people that are in the older generation, and it just totally goes against what they've been taught all their life. So it's understandable, because a lot of time it's like a religion. You can get into a cult sort of mentality. So I understand that, get a lot of backlash, but people need to know, because if it was a lie, then why are we getting sicker and sicker and unhealthier over the years? If the information that we're getting taught today was correct, that we've always been taught, rather, then why is heart disease on its way up? Obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, it's just all on the rise, and it's just unhealthy and healthier. So we've got to make a change, and I'm just trying to contribute my small effort towards that. Okay, so this one is about vegetables. Okay, you ask, I'd say 10 out of 10 people, you'd say vegetables good for you. They'd say, yeah, of course they are, you need them. Right, okay. Did you know that 99.99% of all toxins that we eat come from vegetables? Okay, I'll say that again. 99.99% of all toxins that we ingest come from vegetables. Okay, so why is that occur? So vegetables, basically we're talking about vegetables and plant matter. So this is going against, basically this is going to be opposite of what vegans do. Okay, what I recommend. So if vegans eat a lot of plants, and a lot of the population eat a lot of plants, whether they're vegan or not. So plants, we're including not just vegetables, not just like your broccoli, your sprouts, your carrots. Okay, you got things like bread, wheat, potatoes, pasta, oats, porridge. Okay, most people have sandwiches, most people have potatoes, they have pasta, they have rice. Do you know, all these things, it's plant matter. Okay, it's all grown. So it's not just green leafy veg that I'm talking about. So why do they produce these toxins? Animals, okay, that we're supposed to eat, which I've talked about before and I'll probably go on to, what can they do if someone tries to eat them? They can run away, okay? They can bite them, they can attack. What can a vegetable do? Stuck in the ground. What can it do? Okay, it can't run away. It has to make itself either taste horrible, which does if you eat a raw piece of broccoli. It's not designed for the human diet, basically, which we can get onto. Or it can make itself poisonous and produce pesticides, natural pesticides produced by the plant, which, once you dig into the research, it's not good. You look at the research that backs up eating vegetables, most of the authors are vegans. So they've got biased, they're very biased, they've got an agenda, or it's cereal companies like Kellogg's, and they might sponsor the study. Do you know, it's really biased. Once you dig into it, you need to filter out that and think, actually, look into the real science and people that don't have an agenda, then you'll realise. So all these toxins that the plant produce, so it might be oxalates, glyphosates, lectins is a big one. If you look at all these words, they can cause a lot of issues with the human body. So where am I going with this? Okay, so as we've listed, most people eat the things I've listed today, and what can it be causing? So I've got a bit of a list here. They can cause joint problems, mood, okay, skin problems, eczema, psoriasis, asthma, breathing problems, okay, rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, Alzheimer's, dementia. So dementia, people just think they naturally just lose it, but I think this is a big contributing factor, because it's a massive part of our diet that we eat, and which we haven't evolved to eat over millions and millions of years. The agriculture industry 10 to 12,000 years has only been our diet. That is a minor speck of evolution that our bodies just are not adjusted to, okay? We're adjusted to eat animal products, okay? So red meat being bad, it's all myths, okay? Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, thyroid problems, I could go on and on, but as you can see, these are all autoimmune issues, which is, I think, is what's, it's all the lectins, the gluten-free, people are okay with that, lactose, casein, whey, certain types of proteins can have this effect, so caffeine, alcohol, caffeine, plant, okay? If you look into it, it's all plant matter, okay? They're trying to produce these toxins and pesticides as a defense mechanism. It's chemical warfare because they can't run away, they can't attack, so it has that effect on the body. And a lot of time you don't even realise it, but it's when you cut them out that you might feel tons better, okay? If you don't have any problems with plant matter, then yeah, crack on, carry on. But I think the things I've listed today, people could, just energy and mood, people can relate to it, I think. So I recommend cutting all plants out for a month, record how you're feeling, and then you can tell me I'm wrong. And it's interesting, I want to hear it, tell me how you're getting on, okay? So it makes sense. My solution is, don't be vegan, try carnivore for a month, and you'll feel tons better. Our bodies are adjusted to it. Things like the pH of the gut around 1.5 is just designed to eat meat because of the acidity. Digestion is absolutely fine. We're not supposed to go to the toilet multiple times a day, okay? Just because you're not going to the toilet doesn't mean you're constipated. There's a complete difference, so people might think they might suffer with that. Dairy can be a problem, so I'd cut out cheese and then maybe add it back in. So then you can start adding things back in and see if it affects you, okay? Sometimes you don't realise how rubbish you felt until you feel good, okay? So, have I got through my points? Probably people will say, what about fibre? I've probably spoke about it before in previous videos. I don't know if I've made a whole video on it, but fibre, again, it's non-essential nutrient. It's just indigestible plant matter, cellulose, again, produced by a plant, okay? It's just waste. That's why you have more waste when you sit on the toilet. It's not doing anything beneficial. If you're on a low carbohydrate, carnivore, meat-based diet, fibre is not an essential nutrient. Again, these studies are funded by Kellogg's, things along the companies along those lines that want you to buy their products. Just look into it. It all makes sense when you get to that. So, 99.99% of toxins are produced by plants, so why would you eat them, okay? Any questions? I'm probably going to get some stick for this, as I normally do, but just have an open mind and don't go into this vegan, vegetarian sort of cult. Think, right, what are we made of? We're made of meat, we're made of muscle tissue, we're made of protein, we're made of fat. You could survive off meat, and I think that's 100% most optimal way to do it for the rest of your life. You just eat plants, see how long you last, okay? Look at it like that, okay? If you just got dropped off in the wilderness and started eating raw plants, these bitter tasting poisonous substances, what would happen, okay? You'd break down very quickly. Cheers guys, see you later.